What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode here on Full Throttle. My name is Charlie. Today's going to be a little bit older of a video. It's a video I took a little while ago and I just never got around to editing it, but it's me replacing the compression arms on a 350Z. The process is pretty much the same for a G35. I'm going to get to that, but I wanted to show you a little bit of what's going to come up in the next few days, or maybe not the next few days, but within the next week I should have the videos out. I'm going to go piece by piece on these videos, so they're going to be kind of divided up, but there's going to be one video in all that shows everything that I'm doing in one day. So I'm going to show you the parts that I've got right now. Got everything all laid out. So I've got my radiator. I know some of you guys have been probably waiting for this radiator install. I don't know if anybody's been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it. So I've got the coil radiator with the Mishimoto slim profile fans, and while I'm replacing this, I thought I might as well get in there and replace the other stuff like these pulleys. I know I've gone over a video on that before, so I'm not going to touch too deeply into those, but I also bought the Z1 Motorsports lightweight crank pulley, and I got the idler delete pulley kit and everything with that. And while I'm replacing all of this, I'm going to replace my thermostat. I don't need to replace my thermostat, it's not bad, but this one is a brand new one and I thought I might as well do it while I was at it. I'm not going to replace all of these hoses, I'm just going to replace some of them. So I'm probably just going to replace the main ones, the upper and the lower, and then this coolant bypass from the passenger side of the engine to the driver's side, and I'll probably replace a couple of them. I think it's, which one is it here? One of these here. That goes on the top of the engine, so I'll kind of show you guys right now. This is what I've got in so far. So I actually got another lift installed, and we're going through and taking everything apart right now. I bought this G37 Sport for fixing, and then I bought this other one for just selling parts. So if you need any parts off a G37, a lot of these are going to be posted up to the eBay stores pretty soon. So look forward to those if you're a G37 owner. And this is one I got to fix, and this is one I got obviously for parts, but I got another lift installed, and I got this G35 here. I'll show you which hoses that I'm going to be replacing. So I'm probably going to replace this one here and this one here, as well as the upper and lowers. I might go through and replace a couple of hoses like these, and the PCV hose, of course. I actually took that filter off my car and replaced the PCV hose for smog a little while ago, and I just didn't get back around to throwing the filter and stuff back on. But yeah, so I'm going to be deleting this pulley here. So it used to run a radiator fan. So when the early G35s came out with the VQ35DE, they came with a radiator fan. So if you have an older model G35, you're probably familiar with this. They didn't have electric fans. It had one big radiator fan, and it had a fan shroud, kind of like an older engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, take this pulley out, replace the other two idler pulleys. I'm probably going to replace my AC compressor while I'm down there, and then I'm going to replace the main crank pulley with that lightweight one. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing coming up pretty soon within the next couple of videos. But for now, I'm going to get to the video of showing you guys how to replace the compression arms. I'm going to be doing these compression arms right here. So I actually got Mevotech ones, and they're pretty cool because I'm pretty sure this bushing on the end, or this ball joint on the end, is poly instead of rubber. So it's pretty nice. Should last a little bit longer than stock. And these are brand new, so I don't have to worry about anything. I'm going to throw them up on this car today, so I'm going to put the car up in the air and get to it. So one of the first things that you're going to have to do when dropping this, okay, so to replace these compression arms here, you have to drop this brace here. So in order to drop this brace, you've got a series of bolts. You've got this one right here, which is a, I believe this is a 19. Then you've got 14 here, 14 here, 14 here. On some cars, this isn't even here, this back plate. So some of them, it's only this 14 here, but on a lot of these, there's two 14s here. There's a couple of 14s up here on the subframe, and then there's this 19 here, just like the other side, 14, 14, and 14. So we're gonna have to drop that in order to get access to these here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually remove these wheels. It's gonna make it easier for me to, I should have actually done that when I had the car not so high off the ground. So I'm gonna remove these right here, these cotter pins, and then I'm gonna remove, I believe these are 19s or 17s on the ball joint on the compression arm. And then what I'm gonna do is, where I'm gonna drop this brace, remove these cotter pins and nuts on the ball joints, and then I'm going to worry about putting the new ones on and getting this brace put back up. Alright, so what I've got now is I've got a 14mm with a about a 6-inch extension, a 19mm deep socket, and they're actually wire strippers, but I use them like pliers at the end. They're like needle nose pliers. That's just for the cotter pins. This is for the cotter pins as well. It just makes it easier to poke in the little eye of the cotter pin, and then you can easily pull it out. And then I've got a 17 here just in case the ball joint is a 17. Alright, so now that the brace is down, I can worry about the ball joint nuts. Alright, so I took out the cotter pin on the bottom of the ball joint for the compression arm. Now this compression arm is pretty much free. All I have to do is drop this 19mm and I can take this compression arm off. Alright, now the compression arm is out and it's time to put the new one in. And this bushing is really bad. See if I can push it out by hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm that the little cone, I'll show you guys in a minute, actually fits into the knuckle here. Alright, looks like it has good fitment. It's not loose at all. Alright, so this is the little cone that I'm talking about. See if I can get it to focus. Yeah. This is the little cone that I'm talking about. Needs to be, you should check the fitment of these cones always before installing them on your car. And it looks like this this nut that came with this lower control arm is actually like a 21 or a 22. I'm going to grab that real quick. Alright, looks like it's 21. Now I'm not going to torque this down, I'm just going to snug it up for now. Alright, so I'm just going to snug it there. There we go. I just turned the wheel slightly just to align this bushing a little bit. Alright, now that one's up, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to tighten this one down or anything yet. I'm just going to start working on the other one, but that's pretty much how you install it. I'll show you guys when I'm putting up the lower brace again. I wanted to point out real quick that if you do grab your rotors like this to turn them to install these compression arms, make sure you wipe them down with brake cleaner. That way you don't have any oils on your rotors when you put everything back together. One other thing I wanted to point out is with these chassis studs, you should always wipe them down, clean them off, use a wire brush or something, because dirt and debris does get on here, and if you tighten it back down with all that, you could damage your threads. But other than that, all I have to do is clean up these threads, these threaded areas, make sure that they're all clean and nice to go, and then I can worry about putting that brace back up and torquing everything down to spec. So for this ball joint here, the torque spec is 75 to 94. The torque spec for the other side of the compression arm is 140 to 170, which is pretty high, but 140 to 170. And then all of these 14 millimeters are 60 to 65. So all of these ones up here, see there, these ones and the other 14s all over here are 60 to 65, and then these 19s are 140 to 170, and then these ball joints are 75 to 94. Alright, so that's it. The compression arms are in. Everything is torqued back down. See, all these bolts are torqued back down. And that's it. So compression arms and all these are torqued down. The cotter pins are in. And we're good to go. Alright, and these are all the tools I used in the video. I used a wire brush to clean off the old threads. I used these wire snips, but I just used them as a like a pair of needle nose pliers to pull the cotter pins out. 6-inch extension, this torque wrench, a 19 millimeter, a 14 millimeter, the little pick that was just to take out the cotter pins as well. The 21 millimeter was to take off the wheels, and the impact gun. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the end of this video. It's actually a pretty easy install. It's not too bad. If you have a lift, it makes it a lot easier, but I mean, the first time I dropped this brace was on the floor of my garage, and that was actually on the same car. So the first time I ever dropped that brace was on this car, and that was when we first got it, and we fixed that car in my garage, and it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool like little job. For the compression arms, this video is pretty much it. If you guys need any parts, hit my eBay stores in the description below. If you guys have any questions, drop a comment. And if you like this video, if it helped you out, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It makes me feel good about doing these videos. And make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Z content. I've got a lot of stuff to come, and I'll see you guys in the next video.